Hi, so today I'm going to teach you how to make this hula hoop wreath. I've got 3 here, and I'll show you how to do it. Be sure to click subscribe on my channel so I can keep bringing you other projects. And I apologize for the angles on this video. I'm brand new to GoPro and my angles were set up wrong, so sorry it's a little annoying, but you can still totally make the wreath watching the tutorial. Okay, so I have my hula hoops from the dollar store laid down on the grass. That way I don't have to put a tarp down because I'll be able to just have my husband mow the grass and get rid of all the overspray. I bought 2 kinds of paint. I bought Rust-Oleum glitter paint and Rust-Oleum metallic paint. And the glitter paint does not work because it's just putting glitter on. It's not giving full coverage, so you're going to need to use the metallic. And then if you want glitter on top of that, you could go over it with the glitter, but it's not going to cover your hula hoops evenly if you use the Rust-Oleum glitter. So get rid of that. Just use the metallic, and I'll meet you back when I'm done painting. I don't want to get overspray on my camera, so I'm just going to meet you back when I'm done. So I painted my hoops and I'm ready to get started on them. I bought some flowers just at the craft store, and I have some Garland that was left over. Actually, I never used it on another project and forgot to return it. So I'm probably going to use one of these garlands as a base. So you're going to need, I would say, a garland, some flowers, some ribbon in whatever color you're going for. Mine's going to be navy blue and gold because it's going to be for a high school graduation, so I'm doing some school colors. And you're going to need some floral wire, or if you don't have floral wire, you can use some zip ties. They should work really good too. So if you have floral wire, you're going to need wire cutters. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate the top of one of my hoops, and then I'm going to do the sides about 3/4, so I'm actually going to use this side because it's bent. So I'm going to do the outsides about 3/4 of the way through before I zip tie my hoops together. So I'm going to work on the 2 outside hoops first so that I can make sure that my measurements are accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and take my garland here, cut the tag off, and I'm going to measure, since my garland I want it to kind of swag up, I have to keep in mind the direction that the little plant is growing. I'm going to probably just cut it in half here, and let me see, this is like a 9-foot garland, 6-foot garland, so you'll need 2 garlands, or maybe even just 1 if you make your greenery area just a little bit smaller. So I cut it in half, and now I'm going to take a little bit of my floral wire, cut it, and I'm going to tack down this first piece. I'm actually going to catch it underneath, kind of in between the first little vine there that grows out, so that I have something that it holds on to. And then I'm going to just twist this wire, maybe twist it around the vine again, and twist it just to make sure that it's going to kind of stay in place. And I'm going to do that all along the vine, but before I do that, I'm going to wrap the vine around the hula hoop like so, and it already looks totally awesome. So I'm going to tack down the other end, and then I don't think I'm going to put any in the middle because I'm going to be tacking down some ribbon and some flowers, so I think I will be totally fine as far as, you know, secureness by the time this is done. I guess you could also use hot glue if you wanted to. Probably won't stay as well. My party's a summer party, so I don't even want to mess with heat. Plus the paint on this hula hoop is not that great, so That's another reason I wouldn't want to do that. So I have one little one done, and I'm going to come around and do the other one. Cut another piece of floral wire. And I'm going to make sure that I cover up that little kink so that it looks like a nice, perfect little circle when I'm done. So I'm just gathering the two together and twisting them around each other to make it nice and secure. And then wrapping it around the hoop again and the vine again, and then twisting it again. Now I'm going to wrap this side up and around the hula hoop. I'm going to cut off this piece because we don't want that. And then I'm going to tack the end down. And we should be done with our first little part of the vine. Okay, so I have my two end pieces, or edges, and I'm going to want to do my top hoop too. So for that, I think I'm going to go from about here to here for that. So just gonna measure by eye. So this is a good stopping place since some of the vines are missing off of this garland. And then I'm going to go ahead and tack it down too. Cut your wire, grab onto that last little piece of vine, twist it around, and twist it around again. And then wrap the vine. I'm going to cut my end piece. Cut a piece of wire. And tack it down again. Okay, so now we have, it'll be spread out. I don't know if you can see because of the camera view, but I'll try, when I put them all together, I will try and get a wider angle view so that you can see what I'm doing. So next I'm going to work on my flowers. I'm gonna cut them, I'm gonna move up my leaves here. Actually, the whole thing came off. I'm gonna move up my leaves. And I'm gonna cut a couple of flowers and just, you know, see where I want to put them before I tack them down to kind of get a feel for the look I'm going for. I think I'm gonna probably do two there. And on this side piece, I think I'll put some down here at the bottom, at least my larger flowers. I have some smaller flowers too that I'm going to use to fill in with. But I think 2 to 3 of the larger flowers, maybe 2 on the top and 3 on the sides would probably be good. So maybe something like that. Maybe I only need one of these flower things. That would be awesome. Maybe I'll put one up here in the middle. I kind of like that for my flowers. So I'm going to take floral wire, and what you're going to do is take your flower, you're going to wrap the floral wire around it and cinch it really tight so it doesn't slip off. If you keep holding onto it and twisting the flower, it's nice and secure. Then you're going to put it where you liked the location and wrap it around the vine and the hula hoop again. And then twist the other side, and then maybe even bend the little stem a little bit around the hula hoop so that it's sticking out just where you want it to, you know, for placement. So I'm going to do that with all of the flowers that I placed, and then I will come back and show you the next placement of the flowers so that you know what to do. So I have my two side ones and my top one done. It already looks totally awesome. Now I'm gonna place some of my smaller little flowers. Again, I'm gonna slide up the greenery and cut the stem, and then I'm probably just gonna place a few here and there right around my larger ones, just to give it a little more depth or color. So I'm going to cut them, maybe put a little cluster in here. I don't know if you can see that over there. Just to draw in a little bit more color. Slide up your stem, cut it, I'll put one in there. Some of these flowers are seen better days. Put that in there. Yeah, you probably only need one bunch of these if you're doing bunches, because I'm just trying to get a little color. Some of my flowers are missing their stems, so I'm going to pull them off, put a stem on here. Join it back together. Okay, so once you have the placement that you want for your flowers, go ahead and attach them the same way you did your large flowers. You're going to, let me finish cutting this because I'm going to put this here. You're going to grab some floral wire. You're going to take your flower, I wrap in between the stem and the leaf just because it's a little thicker there, so my wire grabs on a little easier than just a slippery stem. Wrap it around really tight, and then go ahead and place it where you want it. Wrap it around the hula hoop and the garland, and twist it again together with your fingers. And then it's in place. So I'm going to go ahead and go around and do all of my smaller flowers, and then I'll meet you back and we'll do some ribbon. We'll make a few little decorative ribbon accents to go with our flowers. Okay, so I finished up all of my little flowers. They're all tacked in, and now I'm going to take some of my blue ribbon, I just decided, And I'm gonna make a couple little, not bows, because there's just not enough space for bows, but I want some color, I want some ribbon in there, so I'm gonna take my ribbon. Actually, I need to grab some scissors. So, GoPro, stop recording. Okay, got my scissors. I'm gonna take my ribbon, and I kind of want something kind of around that size, so I'm gonna fold it over, I'm gonna gather it, and I'm gonna take a little bit of floral wire again, and I'm gonna wrap my wire around it and then twist again, and then I'm gonna go ahead and trim this little piece, but I want to trim it so it has a cute little edge, so kind of gonna go the length of my little bow area that I gathered and cut diagonally, and now I have a little cute little end on my it's almost like a floral, a pick now, and I'm gonna place it just kind of in around my flowers and tie it to the hula hoop, and it just makes it kind of fluffy. It kind of hides my stem a little bit. I like the wire edge ribbon because you can just control it so much better. So I'm going to go ahead and make another one. Cut my wire, and I'm just going to grab this again, gather it, put my wire around, and you could make up a couple of these before you even start placing them. I'm just kind of doing it on the fly and just doing what I think looks good. So I'm going to cut it again, and I think I'll put one like kind of right up in here too, just to fill it in. I want this to be heavier on my two rounded bottom parts. I want it to be a little heavier than at the top or even on the sides here. Now, I feel like I need to pull this around a little bit, so I'm probably going to tack that in because it needs something there. So I'm going to do that on both of my sides, and then I might do a few little bows with a thinner ribbon in the middle, or I might just go ahead with this and fill in at the top too, but I kind of like to keep the heavier weight down at the bottom. So I do have a coordinating thin ribbon I'll probably use up at my top little round area. So you kind of have to cover that with the flowers, but I think that's cute. I'll probably just leave it like that for this side. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll meet you back and figure out what we're going to do for this little top piece. Okay, so I put in my little floral picks on each side of my two side pieces, and I'm going to move those aside now, and I'm just going to work on the last bit of floral ribbon for the top. So what I think I'm going to do is kind of make a big bow, and then I'm going to do, if I have enough ribbon, I'd like to do like trailing ribbon along here just to kind of cascade it out from the flowers and keep the color. So to do a bow, you take ribbon, you kind of a center point, so this is half of the bow size, and then you just gather in like so till you're happy with your bow. I think that's a good size. So a minimum of 3, but you can do as many of these little wraparounds as you want. I'm going to make this one pretty full. Okay, so I'm going to get floral wire again. I'm going to grab the middle and twist, and I have my bow. So great thing about wired ribbon is you can just shape it however you want, and Probably going to place it somewhere right there, but I want my pieces to kind of swirl and come out like this into my vine. So I'm going to cut this here, kind of at an angle. Then I'm going to cut one more. At an angle. And I'm going to wrap it in with my floral wire again. And then I'm going to go ahead and, actually I'm going to place my bow. I don't know where I'm going to place it actually. I think I'll place it here on the top. Like this. I'm going to wrap it around everything except for that. And then twist the back around the hula hoop like you've been doing with everything else. I like that. And then let's see if I can make this trail over here. So to get your ribbon with wire nice and curly, you can wrap it around a pencil, but sometimes that's just a little too much. So I just kind of put it around my fingers and then I pull. And then I'm just going to kind of place it like that. And same with this one. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers. And pull. Kind of weave it in and out here. And voila! They look really good. So now I want to put my hula hoops together. Well, hopefully you can see them, or at least half of them. And I want to join mine right here. So I'm just going to take floral wire and tie them together. So it's pretty simple. Grab the wire, a little more wire this time, and grab both hula hoops, go under the flowers and the vines so that they can cover some of the wire, and then I'm gonna twist them together. I'm gonna go around again and twist together, and twist again. I'm going to bring this down here because this, I'm going to try and hide it. So I'm going to twist some wire around it to kind of keep it bent like that. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to put something else right here. I think I'll put another little flower just like that. I can probably just slide it right into all the wire, and there, it's covered. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side, underneath the garland. I gotta make sure that my hula hoops are actually positioned in the right place. So I think that's about good. And wire them together as well. If you wanted them to hang a little lower, you could just wire them lower. It's totally up to you. Or if you want to hang them separately on a wall, then don't tie them together. But hopefully you can see here. Looks great. I'm going to put 3 letters in the middle, Y-A-Y for graduation. You could do Mr. and Mrs. You could do whatever you wanted. So that's how you make hula hoop wall decor.